Hello, I am Priyadarshini Karve. I am the director of Samuchit Envirotech, a social enterprise based in Pune and working with the motto Enabling Sustainability. I am also currently the national convener of Indian Network on Ethics and Climate Change or INEC. Our motto is People's Voices in Policy Choices. This is the sixth episode of the series. Let's try some thought experiments. Links to the previous episodes are in the description, and links to the future episodes will be added as and when new videos are made. In the previous episodes, I talked about food and energy. Two other basic requirements for survival are access to potable water and hygienic sanitation. From the perspective of disaster preparedness, one option we do have for water is to revive the traditional water storage and distribution structures in our vicinity. These could be wells, tanks, aqueducts, etc. These were the systems that ensured water availability in the pre-piped water era. The systems are typically aligned with the unique aspects of each climatic zone and did serve our ancestors fairly well in spite of the usual unpredictability of the monsoon rains. But of course, now the monsoon cycle itself is changing due to climate change. So we may have to modify some of these systems based on the traditions from other parts of the country. When we look at the traditional systems, we often get fascinated by the technology aspect of it and forget that their success also depended on participatory management by the local community. The modern water system, based on dams, canals, storage tanks, piping, etc., relies entirely on technology and centralized management by the government. We benefit from the system, but we ourselves have no knowledge about where our water is coming from, and we have absolutely no control over the delivery channel. I think that part of our problem of water being overused and wasted in spite of increasing scarcity is linked with this lack of participation. So basically, water security is a lot about mindset and policies. Unless fundamental changes happen in how we access and use water, we will not be able to ensure survival water security during disasters and sustainable water use during normal circumstances. Let's focus a bit more on access to water for our neighborhood during a disaster situation. We already have large water storage tanks nearby if we are getting piped water. So some level of water storage is ensured in these neighborhoods. If you live in the vicinity of a lake or a flowing stream or a river, you are very lucky, provided the water is safe to use. Unfortunately, that is easier said than done. In fact, living near a river or a stream may make you more disaster prone. There are anecdotal reports from all over India that under the lockdown, the polluted natural water bodies seem to be cleaning themselves up. But we need some scientific proof of this. Air quality monitors placed at various locations across the country are giving us rich insights into how the air is cleaning up with human activity reduced to bare minimum. This provides useful information on human impact on air quality and will be useful for devising measures to maintain good air quality going ahead. On similar lines, we need water quality data to be recorded for various water bodies across India. This will provide a fact check for the anecdotal stories and will also provide useful insights for keeping the water bodies clean in the long run. Those of us who are not near any natural or human-made surface water reservoir will have to rely on the underground water and water in the air around us. In order to be able to access the underground water through dug wells and bore wells, we must ensure continuity and functionality of the aquifers feeding these wells. Over extraction of water with multiple bore wells in close proximity to each other is an insane practice that first took root in the agricultural areas and has now become all pervasive even in the cities. At the same time, in the cities, we are on one hand constructing underground structures and cutting through aquifers, and on the other hand, we are covering up all open surface with concrete. There is almost no scope for the aquifers to be recharged naturally even when we get a good amount of rain every year. As if making end-to-end concrete roads was not enough, now we are all set to pour concrete right into the riverbeds of various urban rivers across India. There are a number of people's movements trying to reduce this attack on our water lifelines. We all must strengthen their hands and let the local political establishments know our concerns. But apart from concretized roads, etc., every time we carry out any construction, we are blocking a space that could have potentially either seeped or flowed the rainwater into a natural or human-made reservoir. Therefore, rooftop rainwater harvesting is a must. Wherever possible, the collected water should be directed to recharge the nearby aquifer. But if that is not possible due to the local geology, the water should be collected and stored in a tank. Getting water from air is an interesting and promising idea. As 75% of the earth is water, there is a huge water surface that is constantly evaporating. This water is part of our atmosphere and is mentioned in the daily weather reports as relative humidity. During winter nights, some of this humidity condenses out of the air and we see it in the form of dew in the early morning. Therefore, if we can cool down air, we can condense water out of it whenever we need. A number of devices operating at various scales are already available in the market. It is possible to power these devices with renewable energy. Even under normal circumstances, this technology can be a big boon for areas with water scarcity. During monsoon season, when the relative humidity in the air is in general higher, this may prove to be far more reliable and economical than cloud seeding to induce rainfall artificially. Often, the challenge in India is that water is available but is not safe to use. Actually, there are some simple technologies that can prove useful in many, if not all, such situations. For example, a simple sand and charcoal water filter and solar distillation can deliver potable water at the household level. I am now running over my self-imposed word limit per episode, so I'll pick up the topic of sanitation in the next episode. In the meanwhile, do share your thoughts on access to water for all under all circumstances. Thank you.